Charge!
Dragon Tail's that ability that you know exists, but you probably never used. It does 50% fire and 50% physical, and it really kicks butt. And then it's been buffed in patch 2.4 to kick 10% more butt. That's a lot of butt. This build just walks through hell mode players 8 like it's nothing. Physical immunes can be a little bit annoying depending on their fire resistance, and certain really chunky fire immunes like Lister the Tormentor, you're just going to want to stay away from them. But the vast majority of the game, you just cut through like a hot knife through coconut oil. Don't believe me that this build kicks as much butt as I say it does? Well, let's see what Bruce Lee has to say about that.
Movement number 4. Dragon seeks path. Dragon whips his tail. Hey, Dragon. See that?
This build is so much fun, and it cuts through players 8 like it's nothing. Once you build up 3 charges of Tiger Strike, you basically right click for Dragon Tail, left click Tiger Strike, and you just go back and forth, left click, right click, left click, right click. Let's go over the gear first. Remember, 50% physical, 50% fire damage. We use Lacerator because the amplified damage is going to essentially double our physical portion of that damage. The unfortunate part about Lacerator is that the hit causes monster to flee can overwrite the amplified damage. However, we still can do 78,000 damage, give or take, and one-shot everything. While Fortitude adds a ton of damage, if I was using Fortitude, I would be doing 14,000 damage on the screen right now. Enigma actually makes me do more damage due to the plus skills. Plus skills to Tiger Strike, every 2 skills is like 120% more damage, in addition to 2 levels to Dragon Tail. So Enigma adds more damage than Fortitude, plus Teleport is pretty awesome. Now this gear is not a perfect setup. I actually don't hit the ideal FCR breakpoint, but we'll go over that. Next we're using Phoenix. The huge enhanced damage, the redemption aura that just keeps filling up our health and mana pool, the negative fire resistance, as well as the life and the stacked resistance to lightning and fire. It's a fantastic shield for this build. Here we're using a rack, which gives us 20 FCR. We also would want to get 20 FCR from a circlet. Right now we're using Shaco. We would want to circlet with an increased attack speed resist all jewel if you need resistance, or enhanced damage jewel if you want to do more damage. Or if you don't mind not having the damage reduction from Fade, as well as needing to use a ton of resistance charms, you could just use Burst of Speed and hit 1 frame faster, and again, not have to worry about attack speed at all. We have martial art gloves with attack speed and strength and dex. We have a Ravenfrost, a Bulk Kathos ring. Ideally, for the faster cast rate, this would be an FCR ring. So we would need the belt, the ring, the circlet, and a 15 FCR necklace to hit 65 FCR. Shadow Dancers for huge kick damage, and the dexterity. Actually, with perfect gear, I really don't need to put any dexterity into. I have base value. I've put like 4 dexterity into the build. You could pump extra strength in for more damage, but gosh, we do enough already. You saw some of the charms. We got martial arts charms up the yin yang, up the wazoo, torch, Annie, and call to arms on the switch. This should be a spirit, but I lost it. It's around there somewhere. Let's go over the skills. They're actually really simple. We're going to max Tiger Strike. We're going to max Dragon Tail. if you have Enigma, technically you don't even need one into Dragonflight, and you got some 1-point wonders here. We're going to get Burst of Speed and Fade. These are just a couple 1-point wonders. You could get the Shadow Master or Shadow Warrior, but gosh, they just die so much, and we don't even need their help. Venom, that's an insignificant amount of damage compared to what we're doing. So honestly, we don't even really need those. And then traps, we're going to use Death Sentry with Synergy, Lightning Sentry, and then whatever else you get as you level up, you're going to put into Fire Blast just for some more shots to keep your Death Sentry going for longer. You might wonder, well, isn't the Redemption going to suck up all the bodies and not allow you to have the explosive of the trap? Nope. There's usually a bit of a delay with Redemption, and we get plenty of corpse explosions. I cannot stress how much fun this build is, and while it does use some high runes for sure, the gear is actually not that expensive. You don't need a crazy godly assassin circlet, you just need to get your hands on a decent circlet. If you can't, use a Shaco. It's okay if you don't hit the highest FCR breakpoint. You know, Mara's, Enigma, Phoenix, all this gear is very easily attainable, and martial art, grand charms, even with life, a lot of this stuff is cheap. These are super expensive. So that's why we use Fade. If we use Fade, we don't really need any of these, right? Fade. You don't need a single resistance charm with Fade. Let's go charge this up. Might Aura goes from 11,000 to 14,000. And Tiger Strike number 1, 36,000. Tiger Strike number 2, 57. And then 78. 78,000 damage. Try this build out. It is so much fun. So much fun. Roll the clips. Everything's on Player's 8. We one-shot people like Neelathok. This build is definitely a build that I'm going to be making, and I recommend you do as well. You Dragon Tail and alternate. You Tiger Strike, Dragon Tail. Tiger Strike, 3, 2, 3, 2. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop.
I'll put them. Jimmy.
Jimmy!
Is it okay? Jimmy. Jimmy.
Jimmy!
Chinese boxing.
Bastard! We'll get him in the end. If only I knew how. He'd see Chinese boxing. Can beat any of his barbaric tricks.
I'll go.
Right! We'll show him Chinese boxing.
Yeah. Chinese boxing.
Movement number 4. Dragon seeks path. Dragon whips his tail.
Hey, Dragon.
Oh, boy.